that they're much too large. Relation as as reference markers. I don't think those sizes are anywhere near right. I think they're way too big. But that's my opinion. But if I've got a copy of that link if you want me to post it, and then you can look at their work. A dwarf that is half sun mass is 50% larger than the Earth. I'm hoping very much that this thing is nowhere near half sun mass, so it's likely smaller than Earth diameter as far as size, but it's larger than Jupiter in mass because it's a high density object, and it has multiple orbitals around it. So that's about all I can do for you in that regard. For me, it doesn't matter the size. Once I'm preparing for the worst case scenario, I'm assuming that it's big. So it's not like I'm going to go get a bigger cavern, So I just give people the worst case scenarios, and they can take it from there. Open mind.
Yeah, like I just posted, I wanted to figure it from the actual stereo. Looking at the video, and the Lenin in the top corner, it looks like Lenin dwarfs them both, just off that vid. But I just wondered if anybody had actually took a size reading from it.
I believe that the image you're looking at, that they're calling Elenin, I think you're looking at the event horizon around it. So if you look at the, I've got a picture here I'll give you the link to. If you'll notice that there appears to be an event horizon around this thing, I think that's what they're picturing. So it's very much larger than the actual object that's in the nucleus of it. I'll post that picture right now, open mic.
This is kind of off topic, I apologize, but not really. I just found it really interesting. I just want to read this to you in case you haven't heard it. And I did go to the White House website to verify if this is really true, and it is. It's there. Let me read it to you. This was posted, my email up here. It was posted on September 22nd. If you go to the White House website, I can give you the link if you want it, but there's a petition link where they have various petitions posted, and this is what one of them is. Immediately disclose the government's knowledge of and communications with extraterrestrial beings. And then you click on it and you can sign it, and then for more information, I clicked on that, and this is what it said. This petition calls for the President to disclose to the American people the long-withheld knowledge of government interactions with extraterrestrial beings, and called for open congressional hearings to allow the people to become aware of this subject through those whose voices have been silenced by unconstitutional secrecy oaths. I just thought that was on there. It's on the official White House. It's not a, it's just strange to me, the timing of all this stuff going on, everything we've been talking about, and all of it. I just find it kind of fascinating. And at the time I was on the website, they had 2,810 signatures. They need 5,000, I guess, and I'm sure they'll get it because this was just posted the other day. They need 5,000 to have it really go anywhere from that point on, but I just thought that was interesting, so thanks.
That is kind of interesting. In reality, Barry is an illegal alien from Kenya, immigrated to Indonesia, came here with student loans, and everybody knows it. He's a CIA operative. He has many Kennedy thought it was a great idea to make him president. And so there he is, and he's supported by the world government, by the Rothschilds, by Secret Service, who works for Rothschild, and the lettered agencies around the world that work under Robert Gates and the Pentagon. Now, one big happy family. Now they're running to their bunkers, and they've got their boy, if you will, in the White House. You know, he's going to stand up and tell the truth about anything. That's preposterous. It's not going to happen. He's continuing the 9/11 cover-up operation. The lettered agencies are too. So it's not going to go anywhere. Anybody of the aliens that are working with them are going to do so as long as it's their self-serving thing, as long as it serves their self-interest. But I still see them staying behind the scenes, not making themselves public, because that's their agenda. They don't want to become public. You're on board with it. They want to stay definitely behind scenes. I believe that they were given instructions to stay behind the scenes thousands and thousands of years ago, and I don't think they're going to break protocol after Ellie gets here. Now that's my interpretation anyway, if you want to look at it that way. Open mic. If you want to look at that picture again, that's the Soho image from 6/15 from June. What you're looking at there is the infrared image of what we're tracking. That is what I'm calling an event horizon. It's because what's inside of it is such high density that it's like a black hole. But it's not a black hole. There's an object in there, just super high density. And photon vortices are formed on the outside of what looks like what it looks like is a harp ring, right? And so what you're seeing in these images, like from Mr. Comet Watch, you're seeing something that looks too big to be our object, right? It's too big. That's because you're getting the wave action. You're getting the pictures of the event horizon, not the object that's on the inside of it. It's hidden inside. So it looks to be too big because the inside thing, that's what it's emitting. There's a gravity well around there. There's massive amounts of photons coming out of that are following magnetic lines, and they seem to coincide with the event horizon. So you have a photon cloud that's surrounding this thing, that's keeping everything. Everything inside of there is super cold, almost absolute zero. And then combination of the gravity well and the event horizon, the gravity well and where those photons inside, and there's an outside to it, and it creates that ring that you're looking at. I believe it's that ring, the event horizon ring, that they're picturing in those images, that it's not the actual object that is the nucleus of this thing, the dwarf star. I don't think it's visible on any medium because of the way it sits in that well and because it's so darn cold. Open mic. I don't agree with MR2. The Pleiades is over in the 3-hour neighborhood in Taurus. That's pretty far over to the right. The Sun and Ellie, the Moon, Venus and Saturn are all over there on the Virgo side of the equation, over in the 12-hour neighborhood. Way, way different. So he shows Jupiter from the stereo B. He shows what's on the right of Jupiter, which is Pleiades. It's over there. It's over there on the right, and then he points over to the left where he's tracking this object, exactly where it shows Elenin is supposed to be, between the Earth and the Sun. He points it out, then it took me 2 minutes to see that in the first video whenever he was pointing it out, and he's right. Mr. Comet Watch is right. But what you got is the bunkers out there that they're scared out of their minds to face the truth, and so they're coming up with every excuse to support these cover stories, like Francis, and to say this thing's a comet. And even though it's impossible what they're saying to be true, they believe it's to be true. It's almost like, yeah, I'm sure, because Mr. Comet Watch points out Pleiades. He points it out over to the right. He says, there it is. And guess what? He's right. It's there. And then he comes over to the left and says, look, there's Jupiter. Look, there's the Earth. Look, there's the comet thing that they're tracking. It's very clear that the Pleiades is over to the right and the sun is over on the left, and he's pointing out the objects in between. He does it on the JPL. He does it on the satellite. And it's very clear demonstration. And it's understandable. At 44 million miles, 440 light years away is part of that. That's the Seven Sisters cluster there. The stars are in varying distances away from us. Some of them are 440 light years away. Open light.
Tell us a little bit more about what the deal is with the National Guard being called up for an apparent asteroid impact?
That's what I heard from Sean, that he was getting ready to leave Texas, and people that he knows were called up. That's the excuse they were given, that an asteroid was supposed to hit next week, and they were being called up to be deployed because of an asteroid that was supposed. They were told. That's all I know about it. And that's unconfirmed, but I heard from in this room right here. I heard Sean give that testimony. Open mic. Mr. Comet is right. It's not, yeah, you can what 3-hour and 12-hour means? That's right ascension. Okay, it starts at 0 over to your right, and it goes over to 12, and it comes back to 24, because there's 24 hours, okay? So you've got a 3-hour neighborhood, that's where Taurus is. You got a 5-hour neighborhood, that's where Orion is. Then you go over to the left, you get to 9, 10, that's Leo. You get over to 12, that's Virgo, okay? Well, what we're tracking is over in Virgo, 12 hours. Everybody's saying, oh, that's Pleiades, that's Pleiades. Pleiades over in Taurus, that's 3-hour. Okay, so how are you going to get the 3-hour neighborhood and the 12-hour neighborhood together? Good luck. But there is a pan. Whenever the stereo doesn't hold still, you see, it moves from right to left in those images. So when it just starts, it is showing Pleiades. It's there. He says, look, there's Pleiades right there. And then it pans over to the left, and then you see the images coming into frame. You see Jupiter's there, the Earth's there, and then your sun's over the. But it's skewed because you are looking from the vantage point of the stereo B telescope and not the Earth. So you have to know your bearings. You have to get your bearings on exactly where you're coming from, and then you're going to realize, hey, guess what? Mr. Comet's right. I'm trying to catch him in a misstatement. I haven't been able to do it so far. But these other guys that are going, Pleiades, oh, that's Pleiades, oh, that's Pleiades. No, I found them to be wrong in every case so far. So I'm just trying to be honest. And the people saying that what they're tracking is Pleiades, that's just impossible. It really is impossible.